Well, it's an exciting day here in the Hendricks household.
Yep.
What are you holding there, Cohen?
Well, the mountain I'm holding.
Hail.
Holding a mountain,
Is that metaphorical? What are we doing?
maybe. Well, actually, yeah, it is metaphorical. Like in the terms of the album.
Nice. My name is KARAC HENDRIKS. This road is mine with my, as usual, special guest / co-host, Cohen, my son. He received a lovely little package in the mail all the way from somewhere in the UK.
This way.
Yeah, follow the arrows. Yeah, you betcha. He's just cracking it open now. This is kind of an unboxing / discussion.
Yeah.
This is from a band called Haken.
Yes, it is.
He's opening it live. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see
Affinity.
the video. Yeah.
It's not
We went with Affinity. Oh, interesting.
Cool.
Oh, I thought
That's
we ordered.
That's a turn of events.
Interesting. You were expecting the mountain.
But I love both. So.
You do? Yeah, I remember that happening. And maybe because I did the order on behalf of my mom. She sent the money. I did the order.
Cool.
Well, I mean, yeah, that was still a good one. Yeah, because actually, I think I may even know some of the songs off this album.
Probably, yeah.
The Mountain, I don't think I've listened to before. Tell us a bit about Haken. Where are they from? What's their deal?
If I recall, they're from Australia.
Okay.
And there's like a progressive metal band. This album in particular is very 80s themed. This is the 80s themed
the
one
one.
with
Okay, I remember this one.
1985.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this would be another band that would be considered, I guess, like new progressive or whatever.
Yeah, modern.
Did I show you that magazine I found called Prague?
You were telling me about it.
Yeah, I've been reading it through the library. They're really cool.
Yeah.
And it's funny because all the bands that you're into are like, they're all in there. Like,
Yeah,
oh, okay,
yeah.
that's so. I always thought, oh, they're these. Where could I find out about these guys?
Yeah. Oh, man.
So it's a double. Okay, so the album's called Affinity. What year did that come out?
This was 2016.
Okay.
This was their fourth album.
Yeah, and I was gonna say it HKN4 on the front.
2016. Actually, it might have been 2018. It says 2016.
Yeah.
Inside Out Music.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's this was their fourth album,
Okay.
and it has these are like there's 7 birds.
Okay. They always have
Or
7.
there's 6, I guess.
Okay.
I thought there was 7 for some reason. 6 birds. On the album before The Mountain, there was birds on the cover as well. And
Oh,
it's sort of
interesting.
like them. They're all concept albums.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool too. So the back, it doesn't say side; it says drive.
Drive. Yeah.
Drive A.
Drive
and
A.
Drive B.
Very
And of
cool.
course, like the architect takes a whole side because that song's 15 minutes, which
Awesome.
isn't too long
Yeah.
for a prog
for
guy.
those guys, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you recognize the type of font that's on the back there?
I mean, it's very 80s. I
Yeah.
don't know what it's
So
called, but
that's the standard font from like MS DOS, Microsoft's like DOS.
like coding sort of.
Well, yeah, basically it's like the original operating system. That font would be like when you'd start a computer, it would just start with like C:\\, and then the
Yeah,
little
yeah.
arrow, and then there would just be a cursor blinking.
Well, the computer I just got rid of, it just started up like that.
Well, yeah, because ultimately all Windows computers are still based on that stuff from the 80s, which is
Right.
completely garbage. But yes,
It's their formula.
yeah. Well, it's just the design. But so Haken, when did you first get into Haken?
2017 was I listened to The Mountain.
Okay.
I remember because the same friend that showed me Pain of Salvation showed me Haken,
Okay.
and he showed me it was either Cockroach King or Pareidolia. I think it was Pareidolia from The Mountain, which is a really cool track. I mean, the whole album front to back is amazing, and then I was like, oh, well, maybe I'll just check out the whole album, and then it's been one of my favorites ever since.
Nice.
And then I went through their whole discography, and yeah, it was every album, like the first 4. They have 6 now.
Okay.
They just came out with their 6th one not that long ago. 5th and 6th ones didn't grab me as much as the rest. They also have an EP, which is probably my favorite.
Okay.
It's just 3 songs. The last one's 19 minutes, so it's like half an hour, 3 songs,
Yeah, of course.
which is pretty cool. But
Well, it is, and I mean, it's a little easier nowadays, I think, to make albums like that. Just again to do with digital recording, but you still have to have the concepts, and you still have to write the material to begin with.
yeah, and the music's incredibly complex and and it sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. It's definitely because Pain of Salvation, like the Passing Light of Day, is my favorite album, but I might have to say that Haken's my favorite band, just in some ways, just because I'll go to listen to them more than Pain of Salvation because Pain of Salvation's music is very thought provoking. Not that this isn't, but it also. Oh, thank you. Makes their Pain of Salvation makes me very emotional.
Yeah.
Whereas this is like still emotions, but it's definitely, I would say for me at least, more upbeat.
Yeah.
And more fun to listen to, not as like sit down and ponder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I kind of felt that too. As much as I respect Pain of Salvation, well, and ultimately too. I mean, if you're saying band isn't like these guys probably are an actual band.
Yeah, Pain of Salvation's mostly just Daniel Gilden though.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like definitely a whole, guitar, bass, drums, keyboard, like kind of like Dream Theater, really.
Yeah, I could see that. They were sort of the bridge, right, between the old prog and this round or generation of prog.
It's cool because it's like when you listen to Dream Theater, you can really hear a lot of Rush.
Mm-hmm.
And but when you listen to this, in my opinion at least, listen to Haken, you hear a lot of Dream Theater, but you don't hear a lot of Rush. Yeah. Even though they're still influenced by the old prog and all that. It's just you really hear more modern elements.
Well, that's the way it should be too, right? You're supposed to build on things, and that's why I have such a hard time with Greta Van Fleet. Like,
oh yeah,
I'm sorry, but no, they were influenced by the same people that Led Zeppelin were.
Yeah,
stop
come on.
it. Perhaps, but let's not kid ourselves.
Crazy, yeah.
It's young music for old people, and I just I have no use for it. But I'm sure they're talented kids, whatever. Whatever. There's country acts like that too, like kind of throwbacks that sound just like somebody from the 50s, y'all. I'm really, we're gonna. Yeah. But good music is still good music. So we're actually opening the package here. So that's actually a really cool way to do it. So there's still the slots and it looks like there's some sort of photo or maybe lyrics in there.
Yeah, it said it came with like a 6 thing. Ooh, man, that artwork is really cool.
Did you have the CD of this?
No, I don't actually own any of their CDs, unfortunately.
Because I mean, like the artwork and stuff again on something like this, I would be all over that if.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's really cool.
So what's the story? Have the members all sort of stayed the same, or do we know much about?
Yeah, as far as I know, they got a different drummer.
Okay.
And he's insanely good. His name is Raymond Hearn.
Okay.
I believe that's his name, and he's really good. And he uses the electronic drum pad too. So so it's not like tracks and stuff when they're playing. Like he for the sound effects and stuff, he literally like hits the drum pad with the sounds, which is cool.
Yeah.
And they're just, I mean, amazing. The vocalist, in my opinion, could be an opera singer. Like he's got insane range and the name Haken actually, I looked it up and it comes from in an interview the singer said that it comes from like a character they made up when they were in high school or something and they were like smoking weed and like just came up with it. But I've looked up the word Haken and I think it's German.
It sounds very German.
Yeah, and there's like a Haken of like a machine, like an electronic. You can look it up if you want. But man, that is beautiful.
Yeah, it's so. I thought it would be like all green, but it's actually green splatter with kind of a cream color. Yeah, awesome.
That is cool.
Very cool. Yeah, really nice looking. Inside Out, that would be the record label, I guess.
Yeah, and they've got a YouTube channel.
Inside Out does?
Yeah, and that's where a lot of prog stuff is.
I feel like we ordered something for you one time. Maybe it was Pain of Salvation, and you got like something free, or there was like a free download of something, and you were all. It was a way to expose people to new music.
Maybe.
But it might not have, because you do have Passing Light of Day on vinyl. No, you have Remedy Lane.
Lane, yeah.
But did we order? Do you have any CDs of either of those bands, or is there another?
No, actually, because I've never bothered to order them. But when we were at Amoeba, I looked for them, and
Yeah.
they actually were there, but they were sold out. I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure. Pain of Salvation was sold out. They might have had like a Haken CD,
Okay.
but very limited
Yeah.
supply.
Yeah. Remember that time we were at Amoeba Music?
Yeah,
Oh my God, I spent.
That was awesome.
I would say 3 hours probably, maybe
Yeah.
more.
that was cool.
I have my little list and my
Yeah,
my OCD checked in real hard on that one, but
yeah, that's amazing.
actually I only spent, I think, maybe I want to say like maybe 200 American.
Which is
It might have been only 100 American. You know, because I bought that Little Feet box,
right. Yeah,
and then I bought like probably 6 or 8 other discs.
yeah.
But yeah, that was so much fun. Amoeba Music. There's a Paul McCartney like EP that was recorded there. Like,
Oh yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well, yeah. I like the Amoeba Music channel because they do the "What's in My Bag," and that's how I found some cool music.
Nice. Yeah.
That's actually how I found Glenn Gould.
Oh, interesting.
Was
yeah.
through the Flea.
Oh, he listens
Yeah.
to Glenn Gould. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. That was
Interesting.
like apparently he's super into that. He was like,
Yeah, yeah.
that's like his favorite Bach interpreter.
Interesting,
Something.
yeah.
I guess he's probably pretty nerdy in that.
Well, we're gonna get to the Goldberg variations here pretty soon.
Yeah,
By the way, I'm as a wrestling fan, I do a lot of Goldberg variations of my own.
Oh yeah.
You know, the Goldberg the wrestler. Okay.
Right.
Yeah. Sorry. And also the Goldberg TV show.
I remember that show.
Yeah. I'm still watching it. I'm not sure your mom's.
Is it still
interested in
running?
It is actually. It's still really average. It was
Yeah.
good the first little bit, but like they're really stringing out those 80s, 90s references really thin.
Has it got into the 90s yet?
No, actually, what they did is they did a spin-off show called Schooled, and where Lainey, the blonde girl, ended up being a teacher at the school like 10 years later. Oh, it came with a CD
Yeah, it
too.
did come with the CD.
Is it? Oh, and it all fits on one CD. But
Yeah.
but not so it's not a double CD per se. Oh, that's good.
guess, yeah.
Because the 80 minutes on a compact disc, but roughly
Yeah, that's
45
true.
on a vinyl. So sometimes you still have to spread it over 2 CDs.
Yeah, looks like one CD.
Yeah, no, it is. Yeah, that's great. Well, you can toss that in the car, and
Yeah. Sweet.
it's always nice when they give you a little bit of digital action too.
Yeah, it is.
I always thought they should just give you a cassette,
That'd be cool too.
double cassette with the double
That's
cases.
something they might do at some point.
They probably will. I mean, yeah, vinyl is so cool, and because of the size, and cassettes really kind of sound garbagey. Although there's a natural compression that comes from good tape that's actually pretty nice in its own way, but it's the high noise that comes, like there's a hiss from cassette.
Oh yeah.
That from tape in general. It's just the way it's designed that can be a little bit annoying for me. There was hiss on cassettes, and then with vinyl, of course, there was surface noise. Better vinyl and really good systems, you didn't hear it as much, or it had a unique, but you'd get like pops and scratches and
The
things.
scratch of the vinyl sounds nice.
Yeah,
I think.
oh yeah, it's neat for sure. It's a very warm, and it's so. There is something about anything analog. I'm sure there's people studying this kind of stuff, but when like zeros and ones are not as romantic as what analog things do. So even if you think about our guitar equipment and stuff, there's still a reason we use amps, and we use pedals that are analog based.
Yeah.
There's a decaying of the sounds that kind of comes off, and it's
More natural. I think.
yeah, somehow it's more pleasing to the ear anyway.
Yeah.
But then that can spin off into the whole. Do I like the sound of this because I'm so familiar with it, or is it actually pleasing to the ear? But
Yeah.
I do think it's the latter. I think there is something to that. I'm not sure about the if you can study it or whatever, but
Yeah, I have no idea. I think that's pretty deep in the brain.
it's pretty trippy. There's a couple books on that.
Oh yeah.
I can't remember what the one. Well, yeah, David Byrne from the Talking Heads did one. Oh, excuse
Oh,
me.
that's cool.
David Byrne from Talking Heads. You're not supposed to call them the Talking Heads.
Oh really?
Yeah, Talking Heads. Yeah, I think he wrote a book about how music works or something.
Oh, that's
It was
cool.
called that. And then there's another one about your brain on music. This is your brain on.
Oh, I
music.
didn't know he wrote that.
No, he didn't write that, but
Oh, okay.
it's another
Yeah,
book
yeah, I
that's
remember that
somewhat
one.
related to that. I think it
Yeah.
does go into that.
That's cool.
I think my dad read it. I haven't read it, but
Yeah.
it came with the T-shirt there too. What's the cover?
Well, I was just gonna put it on my hoodie.
Oh, you may as
It's
well.
a style.
Oh yeah, do it. Okay, I'll fill the dead air in the meantime here. Yeah, we're talking about Haken's Affinity album here. Cohen just got it in the mail on vinyl as part of his birthday collection. We thought we were getting The Mountain, but so either I clicked the wrong one or I intentionally did this. It might have been one of those things because I know it took a while to get here too, so they may have been like out of print and we were gonna have to wait longer. And you said you didn't really care which ones, so I think I just went with this one, perhaps. But
I'd like to get both.
well, sure. Well, yeah, I might have to save up the quarters and the dimes and the nickels. And
That's pretty cool.
yeah,
Okay, hold on.
yeah, that's a sick shirt. It's got that mid '80s look to it. Yeah, very sweet, for sure.
Nice.
Awesome. Yeah.
There we go.
So yeah, so their stuff's all available on streaming, I presume.
Yep. Except they have a demo tape that's, what the fuck was it called? It's black and white. But basically, what they did is they remade that into the EP called Crystallized.
Okay.
I feel like it was called The Fifth Dimension. I
Okay.
could be wrong, but I think that's what it was. And they just combined all the songs into the 3 tracks you hear. Because there's a lot of sections in the last song. Obviously, it's 19 minutes.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of different sections that came from the different tracks on the demo.
Mhm.
So if you want to hear the raw demo, you can listen to it. I haven't listened to it in years.
Well, that's the problem with most of those demos and things. Is,
Yeah.
you listen to them once or twice and then you're done.
Yeah, it wasn't super special. Not for me. I love the EP though.
Yeah.
The first album's really good. The second album's really good. Then the third, and then this is the fourth.
So do you think
it's
that
so good.
their newer stuff, you don't like it because you're older now, or do you think
Could
it's just
be.
not as good? In some
Oh,
ways,
it's really good.
Yeah.
I think it might just be that I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I've listened to so much music now that they've already grabbed me with their unique stuff. That
Yeah.
now it's like, oh yeah, that's Haken, that's cool, I like it, but it's not like grabbing
Yeah.
me because they've already grabbed me.
Mhm.
You know.
For sure.
Um,
Well, that's okay too, right? It's
Yeah, I don't
kinda
think it's a
supposed
bad
to-
thing.
They should sound like themselves, and
yeah,
They
they
should-
do.
should repeat themselves too a bit. I often think about Brandy Carlisle is one of those artists for me that, like, your mom and I were so into her when I got into her actually on the first record. Your mom didn't get her till the second, but then everyone heard like the story,
Yeah.
and then the album after that was great too. But then, and Bear Creek came out. I liked Bear Creek. To me, it felt like she was actually trying to stay somewhat balancing between pop and like being
Yeah.
popular, and also staying true to what she had done so far and what had worked.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it kind of got panned, and then she switched labels, and then did Firewatcher's Daughter or whatever.
Okay.
It was okay, but kind of boring. And so then I started trailing off too. But then the last album, was it By the Way I Forgive You? It was like, okay, reboot, and it
Yeah,
was amazing again. Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes there's just those artists like unless they're like really like Renaissance people, like a Neil Young or
Mm-hmm.
where they're like every album you don't know what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Or some of these guys, I mean, they're gonna do their thing, and that's part of the fun. And then sometimes they'll do like an offshoot.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll do like a collab album with some other guitar player from another band. I mean,
Yeah. Well, and actually, I just listened to the guitar player has a solo album,
Okay.
Richard Henschel. It's called The Cocoon. It was really good. I want to get that on vinyl too.
Mm-hmm.
And like the singer from Haken featured on a song to sing. And I don't know, they do some collaborations like actually Daniel Gildenlow features on a Dream Theater song. I don't think it's listed though. On the song anyways. If
Yeah.
you read the liner notes, it is.
He's
I
in
believe it was Repentance. It was on the album Systematic Chaos.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. It's
Well,
an
yeah.
unlisted feature because that was for Pain. I mean, we're talking about Pain of Salvation now, but yeah, that was
No,
their
it's all
thing. Was they were gonna tour with Dream Theater. I don't know if they ended up following through with it though.
Yeah. Probably at some point you'd think.
Yeah, they were opening. That was like going to be their breakthrough, I
Okay.
think. But then I don't know if it happened. But then Haken, kind of. I don't even know when if they rose to prominence. Even definitely being on Inside Out, I think, has made them more popular.
Yeah, I don't know much about that label. Are they British or American?
No
or-
idea. I just subscribe to their YouTube channel because
Okay.
they put a lot of cool stuff on it.
Yeah.
And that's where like their music videos come out through. Their music videos are cool. And actually, a cool thing about them on the next album, Vector, there's a song called Puzzle Box. And I don't remember exactly what they did, but basically their idea was like posting or putting out certain pieces of a code or something. And when you found all of them and put them together, you could get the song puzzle box.
Oh,
So it was like a
okay.
puzzle, which was pretty cool. I don't remember
Wow.
exactly how they did it, but yeah.
That's
So
clever.
that was cool. Yeah.
I'm sure one of these nerdy prog bands is going to be doing something with that NFT stuff, the non-fungible
What is that?
transfer. It's kind of connected to like cryptocurrency, where
Oh, okay.
like basically putting like uniqueness on a file. So typically
Oh,
you can
yeah.
duplicate things, right? But
Mhm.
yeah, so and it's not non-fungible, whatever the heck it is, transferability.
So you can't duplicate.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
yeah.
cool.
So I own this song by Haken, let's say,
Yeah.
and I'm the only one that owns it. No one can hear it other than me. Like it's even though it's
Oh.
digital, because it's in some sort of a cloud server situation.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
yeah. It's
cool.
bringing a new spin to. It's feeding our inherent nature to want to own things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
You know, not like communism or anything.
Yeah. Right.
But yeah, it also, but it's modern, so it's not like a physical thing that you have to store and hold.
Cool.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Our Lady
that's cool.
Peace just did an NFT, because they have spiritual machines 2 coming out. Hey,
Oh, I haven't. Is there? I assume that's a sequel. Then?
yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
yeah. You'll. Yeah, I'm surprised we haven't gone through that, especially with considering your middle name.
Yeah, we haven't listened to. I mean, I have Clumsy on CD,
Oh yeah,
which
course.
is there's some good songs.
yeah, yeah. Spiritual Machines was the 4th album or 3rd.
Okay.
Oh shit, no, 4th. Yeah. And it was concept album
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah, around the year 2000 or whatever. Your mom loved it. Yeah, like
Yeah, his lyrics
played
are
a lot.
really good.
He's a great writer. Yeah.
Yeah.
His voice is a little odd at times,
Mhm.
but yeah, great band. That was the last album with the old guitar player too. They
Oh, okay.
got the new guy on the next one, but yeah, so they're doing a Spiritual Machines too, and they're using an NFT as some sort of a promotion tie-in.
So how are you supposed to listen to it then?
Well, it's not even necessarily a song. It can be like artwork, or it can be a book, or like there's it's just come into the sort of public discussion things. Like you're starting to see it more now. So we'll actually have to see when it actually takes off to the point where people actually get into it. But it'd be fans, like super fans of anything that will be into it. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. I like how the back of the album here, it says copyright 1985.
Oh yeah, yeah. Man, that's a
Because
good
the
song.
song's called 1985, right? The
Yeah.
one? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great song.
And it does have that mid 80s sound to it.
Oh yeah, they nailed it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a crazy song.
Yeah.
I love that's. I was learning some of the guitar on it, and the drums are insane.
Yeah.
Initiate's really good. I mean, every song on this really. Earthrise, yeah. The Architect's really cool. The Architect's one of 2 songs, unless there was some on the 5th or 6th album that I don't remember. The Architect was one of 2 songs at least that had screaming. Like,
Oh, yeah.
they never really did that except for that song and the song Streams on their first album. I think it was the 3rd track. There's like a breakdown and there's like some screaming. I don't know who does it, but
It just reminds me of my buddy Matt there. He sent me a link. Because I was doing some singing at his place there, doing some recording, and he was talking about I guess there was this guy on YouTube anyway. He sent me the video where like teaching you how to scream like the masters. Like,
is it the guy that he would like walk around and ask people if they could scream?
No, maybe, but he in the clip I saw, he just was like, okay, you put your tongue back here and you hold your mouth like this, and then you go, and it was like, oh yeah, and that's how you do that kind of stuff all night, right? Because
That's cool.
Otherwise, if you're just screaming and you're gonna lose your voice or wreck something.
Because there's that guy Jared Dines. He's a guitar YouTuber kind of thing. He's cool, and he has a thing where he goes around at music festivals, and there's one where he like ask people about the band on their shirt, like he does that sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't bother watching them, but there was one where he goes and he's like, so what do you think about screaming in metal music, and like, do you think it's easy? He's like, okay, try it.
Yeah.
And then they go for it, and there's just like voice cracks, and it's pretty funny because it is really difficult to do well.
Is. Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, like, I really like Slipknot.
Yeah.
Haven't gone through all their stuff yet, but getting there.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the more, I shouldn't say accessible, but it does seem to be a little bit more than.
Well, they did it right.
Yeah.
There was that whole thing like about with Burger King, I think. Yeah, it was
don't know.
weird because have you heard of the band Mushroomhead?
No.
Oh, okay, so yeah, there was a band called Mushroomhead, and apparently there was some lawsuit over Burger King had toys that looked like them or something. I don't know. It's because, of course, Slipknot wears their costumes, if you want to call them that, and Mushroomhead apparently did that, and they were out before Slipknot.
Okay.
But I don't think Slipknot deliberately copied them. But yeah, there was like a big thing about that. But Mushroomhead, I've tried listening to a bit, and I don't know. Slipknot just did it right, I think.
Yeah, they're doing something right. I mean, especially Corey Taylor as a, I to be honest, I've listened to more Stone Sour than.
I haven't checked out much Stone Sour. I know some of the hits and stuff that
Yeah.
are really good.
That's how I got into it. Their second album, there was like that slower ballad near the end of the album, and that was the first time I was like, oh, who's this? And then I did the research. But the first album to me felt more like Slipknot, like it was a little more aggressive.
Yeah.
And they definitely fell into the, like, hey, we've got hits.
Yeah, yeah. Well, song 3 was really good.
Yeah, that would
which
be
was
the more
like
recent
track
one.
5.
Yeah.
I always love that. And song 2 by Blur, I think, was not song 2 on the album either.
No, but it was song 2 on Big Shiny Tunes too.
Oh, there you
On the
go. I didn't
collection,
know that.
yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Because most of us had the compilations in the 90s was Big Shiny Tunes
Oh, yeah.
and it was song 2 of
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Rose Red Violent Blue. I love that song by Stone Sour. Hesitate from I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they
Yeah.
had some great stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's yet another Corey Taylor band, isn't there? Well, plus he
There
does
might-
have a solo album right now.
He does.
too,
Yeah, yeah.
which I haven't listened to. But
I've only heard the hit.
yeah.
On the radio. I think they played it on Lithium.
Okay.
And it was cool.
Apparently it's like kind of a combo of all the things he does.
Okay.
Kind of all
Yeah.
over the
Well,
map.
it's amazing to watch him. One of my favorite Slipknot songs is Psychosocial, which is a hit. But
Yeah,
I like some of their stuff earlier as well. But yeah, Psychosocial is just a perfect balance of aiming for radio success, but also like the lyrics are really cool, and if you actually read them, and I love the melody, and just to watch him live go from like the screaming in the verse to just this like beautiful melody, and he just hits it perfectly. It's really cool to watch someone that's mastered that.
Yeah, no, he's great. And when he like runs around like I went to see him live and
Right, yeah, you did. It
with
was
Steve,
18 plus, I think. Yeah,
probably, yeah.
you guys brought me back a patch thing. I still have it. Yeah,
Nice, awesome. Yeah, Steve's always good to get you stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very like a really cool live show. Like
Pyrotechnics.
yeah, and just the 3 percussionists like
Oh,
kinda
yeah.
slamming, and it was a very visual thing, but it was still musical.
Yeah, yeah. They have like Clown and Chris Fenn with the long nose, and
Yeah.
they're super cool.
Yeah.
And they all have their own number too.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, the Clown's like number 3 or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, that's 1 through 7 or something, isn't it? Or like,
9.
is it-
9.
9. Oh yeah, 'cause
I
they
don't know.
have-
They've lost some. I mean, like
well, the
Paul
drummer,
Gray.
Yeah.
Yeah, the drummer. Because now they got Jay Weinberg, not Max Weinberg.
See, we were able to bring him back to
Yeah,
Bruce.
back to Springsteen.
I
There
was
you go.
wondering how we were going to get a Springsteen connection in here.
There we
Yes,
go.
yes.
Yeah.
Jay Weinberg, who actually did sit in with the boys a little bit too, in the Eastern.
Oh, yeah.
But
There you go.
yes, yeah.
Their bassist Paul Gray died.
Paul Gray, yeah.
Unfortunately.
It was suicide or overdose or something.
Overdose, I
yeah.
believe. Like some pills.
Yeah.
Yeah, which sucks.
Yeah. For sure.
Corey Taylor's had a hell of a life. They're really sad. I listened to an interview with him. Very touching.
Well, yeah, I was always intrigued with them, like in reading about them, because like again, they have like the album like Iowa, like Vermilion,
Yeah.
like these
Oh
are
my
these are
God, yeah.
Midwest places, right?
Yeah,
and,
Vermilion's amazing.
yeah, and
There's
and
like
of course,
3 parts.
We
have
college of
Vermilion,
We have
yeah.
a Vermilion, yeah.
Yeah.
And it was also on Teen Mom too, by the way. The American Vermilion. Yeah, I know, it's so funny. What's her name? That Chelsea or whatever. Chelsea
Yeah.
DeBoer. She was like from Vermilion,
Oh.
Ohio or
Cool.
Iowa or whatever the hell it
Yeah.
was. But yeah, these.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was intrigued with he would kind of drew on that sort of Midwest small town alienation, but then went metal or whatever you want to call them. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there's that one story he told that was really sad, was about how he overdosed for the second time when he was like 17. And he woke up in a dumpster. And that's where he was like, his like quote unquote friends like thought he was dead, so they just threw him in a fucking dumpster because he overdosed, and he woke up there, which is like, you know,
it's-
super sad shit.
It's awful. Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, for sure. Yikes.
unlike this album though, this album's very, very cool.
Is it? Are they like? Is Haken? They don't seem to be as dark as the Daniel
No.
Gildenlow stuff.
No,
Yeah.
no. Their concepts are pretty cool, but for some reason it's just never, you know, I can listen to it easily. Like this one, I don't even really understand what the story is exactly.
Okay.
It's got that 80s techno kind of theme.
Yeah.
Like the first album's about like a mermaid
Okay.
that has the cure for humanity or something. The second one's really cool. It's like the guy sees the way he dies in a dream, and he spends his whole life trying to prevent his death, and then he like at the end, from what I gather, is like he basically kills himself
Oof.
or something. It's pretty weird, but the songs, like the music is really fun to listen to and headbang to, and
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah,
great.
it's-
Great music. Yeah.
yeah. So
That concept reminded me of. I started watching it, but I got it from the library. The DVD was scratched. I stopped.
oh, the 11/22/63.
Yeah,
yeah.
because I'm actually I should just read it, but you know
Mhm.
I read like a book a year, so I'm
Yeah.
But and James Franco was doing a great job, but yeah, what ends up happening? I don't know. Like
Yeah.
of course some of the listeners have already gone through that book, I'm sure, but I do need to finish watching it. It was a really interesting concept where he keeps going. You can go back in time to a specific date,
Mhm.
and then of course it's right around the time where JFK gets shot. And
Yeah.
his mission basically is to at least find out if, in fact, the guy that was being apparently killed him did in fact
Yeah.
kill him, because you know there was always that speculation.
Mhm.
I don't know where it's going, because he starts to deal with some of his own stuff too. It's really
Yeah.
it's really interesting. But
Yeah.
interesting
crazy.
concepts. Yeah, it's nice to, you know, the mind can be so creative, and
Yeah, it
you
is.
know, with it usually starts with authors, like with novelists, and
Yeah.
but so these concepts to put them to music, you know,
Yeah.
not from a stage production person, but from a like the rock opera or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Have you checked out the Who at all?
No, not in a long time though. The first album I bought on iTunes was the Who Greatest Hits. I think. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah.
that was cool. And I know like the cover of Tommy is really cool.
Yeah. Well, Tommy is kind of the original one. Well, it is.
Yeah, it's a concept, right?
Although, props to the Kinks, right?
Yeah.
Dave Davies did a few concept albums in and around that time too. I don't think they were touted as that, but they were.
Yeah.
That was sort of the thing. But then the second Who like rock opera is Quadrophenia, and to me that's
Okay.
it's way better in my
Yeah.
opinion. Tommy's really cool, but Quadrophenia is like a full realization of to me of you know Pete Townshend's abilities as a composer, and
Yeah.
and the movie's great too. I love the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really to me started a lot of this kind of stuff. Of course, like
Yeah.
Prague had elements of it too, but it was so disconnected. It was more, you know, warlocks and wizards. And
Yeah, definitely.
this stuff was like dealing with the human condition.
Yeah.
It was a double album with
Yeah.
Quadrophenia. There was four sides, one for each member. There was
Oh, yeah.
they sort of built this amalgam of all of the personality traits of this one character named Jimmy, and
That's cool.
which is also
Yeah, it's
Green Day,
American
right? So
Idiot,
that's why,
yeah.
at
and I
some
might
point-
be getting that on vinyl tomorrow.
Oh, good choice. All right.
Because they have it at London Drugs.
How much?
31. But
That's okay.
and then they have 21st Century Breakdown on CD, and it's on sale for $6.99.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like, I mean, that's
You
I
may
think
as
I
well.
prefer that over American Idiot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because, I mean, like musically, they experimented a little
Yeah.
with time signatures and breaking out of scales. Like I was just analyzing that one song goes into the song 21st Century Breakdown goes into a harmonic major at the end of the song,
Yeah.
which is, I don't think you'd call it that, but it goes to the flat sixth or sharp fifth degree, which is out of the ordinary.
Mm-hmm. yeah, it's-
For Green Day, you know, they vary by the, you know, 1-5-6-4 kind of thing.
Yeah.
So it's cool to see them do that. And then the concept's really cool. I love the lyrics and
Yeah.
the artwork's cool. And
It's hard to follow up such a big album like that because
Yeah.
and remember, like at the time they were on life support. Like Warning was not a popular album, and I didn't even listen to it. I thought Nimrod was great because it kind of had Beatles it had a
Oh, yeah.
60s vibe to it. Some
Yeah.
of the Nimrod album cuts, but yeah. And then when American Idiot came out, of course, it was just a perfect time because of the with 9/11 and all that
Yeah.
stuff. But then when you follow it up with another album that's in that vein, I mean,
Yeah.
that's ballsy and.
Another concept album.
I would imagine that it wasn't Brendan O'Brien, who's the famous producer, who did the production on the,
Oh, that's a good question.
it was
actually.
another one of those big popular.
Yeah.
He did the My Chemical
Oh,
Romance
yeah,
one,
yeah.
which was also great.
Yeah, I have to check that out too.
Yeah. Black Parade is a really cool album.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think actually my sister gave that to me on CD.
She
think
probably
she
did,
did,
yeah,
yeah.
because of course her band.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course.
The second sort of second or third wave of emo. I mean, it's still a thing. It always was a thing, but like there was when it first being called that. Oh crap, who was that band that I'm trying to think of? Like Jimmy Eat World technically kind of fell in that, but there's another band
Kind
I'm
of
trying to think
evolved to emo, I think, from punk sort of alternative to emo.
Yeah, and the shoegaze stuff actually was kind of the original. Well, I shouldn't say original. God, people could slap me for that because I mean, even if you go back, like The Cure, I guess would be.
Oh yeah.
Sort of they were more the gothic Susie and Banshees. There was elements of alternative new wave.
I mean, thinking about goth, even like Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, definitely
Especially
an
with like poetry, because
Yeah.
I mean, he was very. I mean, he read like Mr. Crowley.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I love Ozzy's writing. Ozzy's a great writer.
It's cool shit. Yeah.
He is just a fantastic songwriter.
Yeah.
I don't know if he'll ever get props from that aspect of it, but even his hokiest. I mean, he's a John Lennon disciple, so he draws from that place. But he's got a really good sense of melody. Like
Yeah.
that's why I think you can actually listen to some of that stuff. That
Probably.
Sabbath stuff.
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, their melodies are really cool. Sabbath and Ozzy's solo. Like,
Yeah. Oh,
actually, I was at Zoomies, like the skater shop stuff, and they were playing Black Sabbath. Someone had the aux, obviously.
Yeah.
And Children of the Grave came on.
Yeah,
And I
that's so
totally
good.
forgot about that, but that's such a cool song, like
Yeah.
the drums and
Yeah. Well, he was a really good drummer too, Bill. Like because he kind of was more of a jazz drummer.
Was he a
really.
lefty? Or I might be
No, I
thinking
don't
of
think so.
someone
But
else,
I think what's his name?
from-
Guitar player is. I think Tommy Iommi is a lefty
he?
guitar
Yeah.
player. Yeah, with a
fake
prosthetic finger.
stuff,
Yeah. The who was it? It was Ozzy. I was thinking of. There was another songwriter I was thinking of like that came from that rock kind of metal thing that I think is actually a really good songwriter because it's very easy. I think in some of those projects to just write.
Random stuff.
Rhyme, Girl, and World. That's
Yeah.
that's country. But
Yeah.
or now we
Like-
have Whiskey and Fix Me. That's
Is that
Yeah.
the new one?
yeah. Oh, that's the latest. Yeah, rhyme whiskey, and then just the next word is me. Yeah, so whatever needs to
Yeah.
be here.
I
Kill
mean,
me, fix me.
technically, by some linguistic rules, they do say that each word rhymes with itself. So technically, orange does rhyme with orange.
It does.
technically,
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
But yeah,
we call them in the songwriting world soft rhymes. So if
yeah,
you're actually supposed to write, at least with our kind of popular music, just an ear toward being more conversational. So that's why like some of the masters, like the Towns of Vincent and Guy Clark, they would never settle for a rhyme that was not just the best. And
yeah,
sometimes it was like, okay, you could have just rhymed that one, but you went with that one, and that was amazing. But
yeah.
but yeah, you can kind of bend some of the rhymes, and you want some internal rhymes to keep the rhythmic flow of the lines too.
Yeah.
But a lot of those guys just did it naturally. They just had a knack for it, and they usually, like all good, proper artist songwriters, you have to have something to say.
Yeah.
If you don't have anything to say, you can be a great song crafter or songwriter technically, but it's that's why we have such mediocre music coming out on the pop side.
Yeah.
There has always been garbage music. Let's not kid ourselves, but to me, there was that big shift since probably the mid 2000s where just something went haywire with people are willing to absorb, like listen to stuff that is just awful?
Well, there's a really good video called, I don't remember what it's called, but it's by a guy named David Bennett Piano, and he's
Okay.
on YouTube, and he's just a young guy. He's really good though, really smart and musical and theory wise and stuff. But he did a video analyzing the top song on the charts
Okay.
from every year since like 1960.
Okay.
And he did a video on it. It was insane. It was because
Interesting.
it was very well researched, and I don't even remember that I watched that like a year ago. But
Like looking for the elements that made them
yeah,
popular?
yeah, and just seeing kind of how it's changed, and
Yeah.
he put in his opinions, like what he thinks changed where, and like from this songs, and but yeah, it was really cool.
So
And I
where-
think it was like U.S. like 3 different, like U.S., Canada, or something like that. But
Oh, sure.
It was a
Where
cool-
did he find where was the demarcation point of?
don't remember. There must have been some website.
Yeah, I'll have to Google it up because I'm always
Yeah.
curious about that. I'm intrigued enough to discuss it and to look into it somewhat, but not to do the full on
Yeah.
deep dive study of it. But there is definitely elements of popular music that makes it successful.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that has already been kind of well documented, especially with if you think about like the rock and roll era, which is definitely my fave. There's always an element of rebellion because you're going for the youth market,
Yeah.
and you want a bit of the taboo, right? So
Yeah,
even
definitely.
dancing was considered off limits for a while, and then music that had any sort of suggestive like let's hang out tonight. Ooh,
Oh,
how
yeah,
dare
yeah.
you?
Crazy.
We'll sit in my 1955 car and
Yeah.
eat popcorn. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
But and of course, metal really amped that up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Twisted Sister and Ozzy going to court and
Yeah, I love
and-
that video.
and slaying the lawyers. I love it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's so funny. Yeah, I love that video of the guy from Twisted Sister, and the court's like, so you're telling me this was about your friend at the hospital and not about like, sadomasochism? And he's like, no, this is about our friend that was in the hospital.
yeah,
And if you're looking for sadomasochism in our lyrics, you're gonna find it.
yeah,
Whatever you're looking for, you're gonna find somewhere.
yeah,
That's not what this was about.
yeah. What a dirty mind that person
Yeah.
has. Yeah,
Crazy.
I love it. Yeah, love the boundary pushing. Yeah, even like outlaw country in the 70s was like, oh, that's pushing boundaries. Because like
Yeah.
Waylon and Willie, they were singing about some rough and tumble, like real things. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's, but it's it's still happening. I think for especially with like I'll bring up Billie Eilish as the easy one, where clearly there was some sort of lobotomy happened with musical knowledge, but
Yeah.
but that's sort of what makes it similar to what made punk so appealing. Okay, we're just gonna get back to 3 chords, and we're
Yeah.
not gonna play "Dust in the Wind" because that's
Yeah.
awful or whatever. Which there's room for all of it, but.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like the Billie Eilish thing is her vocal delivery's kind of cool, I guess. I
Yeah.
don't.
It never
listen-
grabbed me.
No, well, no, not me either.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to at least understand academically or quasi academically
Yeah.
what the allure is.
Yeah. I mean, I think one of her songs is like harmonic minor,
Yeah, yeah,
which was like, not super wacky, but it is. I love. That's one of my favorite scales. Probably
Yeah.
my second favorite scale, actually. Which Haken uses a lot of harmonic minor, Phrygian dominant, which is the 5th mode of the harmonic minor scale.
Mhm.
I kind of nerd out
Nerd,
there. Yeah. But yeah. So I think I don't know.
yeah. It's it's a crazy old world. Well, yeah, we did 45 minutes.
Cool.
So what are we gonna put on the playlist for this? For the
Definitely 1985.
yeah.
I don't know. We could go one from each album, maybe.
Yeah, well,
Maybe a couple from this in the mountain.
we'll pick 10.
Because like I could do every song from the mountain. That's
true. Yeah.
That's just
Some of these
amazing
songs are
album.
20 minutes long, so
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah.
if you're on the Spotify free version, you'll only get 30 seconds of it. But
Yeah, that's true.
if you listen through the podcast version, the actual playlist, yeah, you can hit them
Yeah.
up. It just goes in shuffle. Do they have any connections with other artists? Like, have there been any like featuring Haken or Haken featuring someone else? Or
Not really. Nothing super like. Not really, honestly.
Okay.
Which is kind of cool. They're pretty standalone. Like we are Haken. Like
yeah,
we are awesome.
are they the ones that came to Vancouver, or was that Pain of Salvation?
That was Haken. Yeah,
That was
me and
Haken,
Logan
yeah.
were gonna go see
Right.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's a good sign. If they've come to Vancouver once, they may
Yeah.
come again.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'd love to see them. They're really cool performance-wise. Their performances for this album were very 80s themed. Like the singer would wear those kind of ladder shades with that were light up. And,
Yeah.
yeah.
Like
And he'd dance goofy, but kill the singing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, very cool stuff.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, the playlist will be good for resources because
For sure.
their stuff's really fun to listen to.
Well, yeah, we'll definitely pop that up there. And of course, it'll be on karachendriks.com/podcast. And like all the other links to the podcast episodes and the accompanying playlists, as well as some links to where to purchase this stuff.
Yeah.
I will have to see if they're available through any of the other vinyl places. It might just have to point them to Amazon or something. But
Yeah.
try to support Vinyl Me Please if we can, or Run Out Groove is good too, which actually I haven't received mine yet. I still have a copy of Warren Zevon's live album, Stand in the Fire. It's on its way.
Sweet.
But yeah, I paid for it months ago.
Oh, yeah.
It was expensive too, but it'll be on its way.
That's cool.
And then we'll talk about, I think that'll be the only Z I'll be able to throw in, or Z, if it were, from my vinyl collection.
ZZ Top.
We've got, for Y, we'll talk about Yes, 90125. I have that on vinyl.
Yeah.
We've got a few good episodes coming, but in the short term, we're going to run through your next couple vinyls. We'll go down the rabbit hole of Glenn Gould. We'll talk about the Goldberg variations, which you should maybe check out. There was that solo Bruce Hornsby album, because he used to apparently in that tour he would drop in parts of Goldberg variations.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he would drop in parts of it in his medleys or whatever.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's such a nerd.
Really good.
And then we're going to talk about Take 5, Dave Brubeck as well, which you should know. I was just listening to the podcast that Springsteen and Barack Obama did a series of podcasts together, and I guess that was like the first concert that Barack went to with his real
really?
dad. Yeah, was
Cool.
Dave Brubeck. Yeah.
Oh,
So
nice.
yeah.
That's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely not as educated on that stuff, but I just like to listen to it and
For sure.
play it. And
No, that's good. I did that roughly around your age. I got into an album called The Juliet Letters by Elvis Costello and the Brodsky Quartet.
oh yeah,
Because it was even for Elvis, it was a big detour.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it, but it was just so neat because they were, the Brodsky Quartet, like a string quartet, being written specifically for this style of music.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I'm going to try that out and check that out.
Well, yeah. Another one I found from Amoeba, What's in My Bag, was Serge Tankian's. He got a CD by Philip Glass.
Yes.
And
I know
that
Philip
was
Glass,
really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool compositions.
Yeah.
Then that's the one where he talked about Ali Fakatur, or how do you say it?
Fakature.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Blue Benson.
I don't know.
It's an album.
Okay.
It's jazz saxophonist Karu Abe.
Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He overdosed when he was like 24, Japanese saxophonist.
Crazy.
But yeah, you go to the first song and it's like, but it's super clean and it's crazy.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
lots of good music.
For sure. Yeah, and we'll hit those over this. And even if we kind of run out of Brubeck, we can always just loop back to Hornsby and Matheny and
True. Yeah.
and maybe Ornette Coleman or something. We can
Yeah.
dig in a little bit on some
Sounds
wacky stuff.
good.
All right. Okay. Well, thanks for listening to This Road Is Mine. Check out the playlist for Haken. We're gonna prop that up right now. So peace out.